2 reasons you should weigh yourself every day when you want to lose weight. So before I tell you what these reasons are, I want to make clear my golden rule of weight loss is that there is no right or wrong. There's only what works for you. So at the end of this video, you still hate the scale, don't use it. You can still successfully lose weight. But I want to give you my 2 reasons why I suggest using the scale every day when you want to lose weight. Number 1 is unpredictable weight fluctuations. If you weigh yourself every day for a couple weeks, you're going to notice that your body fluctuates in weight wildly. For me personally, I can step on the scale one day, the next day I could be 5 pounds up or down, the third day I'm back to my original weight. And so if I didn't weigh myself every day, I wouldn't have known that. And so if you're only weighing yourself once a week, you might weigh yourself the first day and you might be down a couple pounds just due to fluctuations. And the next week you might be up a couple pounds due to fluctuations. And now you're going to feel like, oh my God, I've been eating great all week and I put 6 pounds on. And it's going to be very difficult to overcome that discouraging feeling. So if you start weighing yourself every day, you start to understand your body more. I now know, because I weighed myself every day, that I can have these weight fluctuations, and I know that it usually takes me a week or 2 for the weight to start to come off when I start eating healthier and doing the right thing. Now, number 2, and I think this might be the most important one, is that if you start weighing yourself every day, it's kind of like exposure therapy. And what I mean by that is that you start to overcome that dread and that fear of stepping on the scale, because when you do it every day, you just get used to it. And this is a really powerful feeling because you get rid of a lot of that emotional worry about what the scale's going to say. And that leads you to a completely different place within your weight loss. And it starts to be something you just do every day. And so it's kind of like facing your fear. And I can't tell you how much easier it is to lose weight when you get rid of that fear and you just start to look at it and be open about it. It can ultimately feel like, and this may sound crazy to you, but ultimately when you weigh yourself every day, you get to a point where it's kind of like looking at the speedometer of your car, right? You look at your speedometer, you don't freak out if you're going fast or too slow, you just correct to it. And that's what the scale can end up being. Now, granted, it does take a little bit of work emotionally to kind of deal with this sometimes, but even if you just commit to doing it for a month, I promise you, by the end of that month, stepping on the scale is just going to feel like brushing your teeth. It's just, an indifferent thing you do just to measure where you're at. And that's a good place to be. So again, I suggest that you do this, but if you don't want to do it, again, I just want to reinforce, there's a weight registry study where they've studied people that successfully lost weight and kept it off for 2 years. And while the vast majority weighed themselves every day, there's also a percentage that were successful that did not. Okay, so again, I just want to reinforce that you do not have to do this. There is no right or wrong ever. There's only what works for you. But if you've been not using the scale and worried about it, I really strongly suggest you try it out and see if this kind of kickstarts your weight loss.